In the ultra-exclusive enclave of Belle Haven, Connecticut, the gates are designed to keep the world out. But on a crisp October night in 1975, those same gates served a different purpose. They kept a dark secret in. For 27 years, one of the most prestigious neighborhoods in America was haunted by a single question. How does a 15-year-old girl vanish from her own yard, only to be found yards away the next morning in a community protected by private security and immense wealth? This isn't just a story about a crime. It's a story about the weight of a name, the power of a dynasty, and the decades-long struggle to prove that no one is above the law. Martha Moxley was the it girl of Greenwich. A recent transplant from California, her extroverted energy was a breath of fresh air in the reserved, high society atmosphere of the Northeast. Across the street lived the Skakels, a family with a fortune from the mining industry and a direct bloodline to the Kennedy family. On October 30th, 1975, known as Mischief Night, Martha headed over to the Skakel estate. The household was a whirlwind of teenage energy. The Skakel patriarch was away on a hunting trip, leaving the 7 siblings to their own devices. Martha was last seen sitting in a parked car with brothers Tommy and Michael, listening to music. At 9:30 p.m., the group split up. Most of the boys left to watch a movie premiere at a cousin's house, leaving Martha alone with 17-year-old Tommy Skakel. She never made it back across the street. The following morning, the community's sense of invincibility was shattered. Martha was found under a pine tree on her family's property. Investigators quickly identified the tool used in the encounter, a Tony Penna 6-iron golf club. The force of the event had been so significant that the metal shaft had actually shattered. Within hours, a matching 6-iron was discovered missing from a set inside the Skakel home, a set that had belonged to the boy's late mother. The physical link was immediate. Furthermore, Martha's own diary provided a trail of breadcrumbs. In the weeks leading up to the night, she wrote about the explosive tempers of the Skakel brothers and her discomfort with their erratic behavior. Investigators began to piece together a narrative of jealous rage. The Skakel brothers, Tommy and Michael, were known rivals for the attention of the same social circle and specifically for Martha's attention. While Tommy was the last person seen with her, Michael's behavior in the aftermath raised red flags. Years later, it was revealed through the Sutton Report, a private investigation ironically hired by the Skakels themselves, that Michael had changed his alibi. He eventually admitted to being outside near Martha's window at a time he previously claimed to be elsewhere. The theory emerged that a toxic mix of sibling rivalry, rejection, and the feeling of Kennedy invincibility had created a perfect storm on Mischief Night. Despite the matching weapon and the proximity of the suspects, the case went cold for over 2 decades. In the immediate aftermath, the Skakel family utilized their immense resources to pull back from the investigation. High-priced lawyers were brought in, and cooperation with the Greenwich Police Department ceased. The blue blood shield seemed impenetrable. It wasn't until 1998, 23 years later, that a one-person grand jury was finally convened. This delay meant that physical evidence had aged, memories had faded, and the narrative had been shaped by decades of tabloid speculation and family protection. In 2002, the silence was finally broken. Michael Skakel was arrested and convicted of the crime, sentenced to 20 years to life. It seemed like a final victory for the Moxley family. However, the legal system would prove to be a seesaw. After serving 11 years in prison, Michael's conviction was vacated in 2013 due to ineffective assistance of counsel, with the court ruling his original lawyer had failed to provide an adequate defense. By 2020, the state officially declined to pursue a second trial. Today, Michael Skakel is a free man, and the case of Martha Moxley is officially classified as unsolved in the eyes of the law. The gates of Belle Haven still stand today, but they guard a mystery that remains unsettled. After 50 years of investigations, trials, and reversals, we are left to wonder, was the original failure of justice due to the lack of evidence, or was it the result of a system that treats the powerful differently? If the right person was never held accountable, does the truth still exist somewhere behind those gates? And finally, in a case where every lid seems to circle back to the same driveway, who is truly being protected?